What's happening, nerds? This is John nerding out with cards, and I thought before I showed off the Yadi Gold collection, in depth showcasing it, I needed to pay like homage to the first iteration of Topps Gold, and so tonight's video is going to be the 1992 to 1994 Topps Gold before they were serialized to the number. I think they kind of get overlooked a lot of times, and even if you know them very well and whatnot, I just kind of figure I need to show off these Ozzie Smith Topps Gold cards before I get into showcasing the Yadi Molina Gold collection. And one of the things I was thinking of is like every day I think I'm getting as cool as Andy over at Andy's Attic. But then I realized every day he's getting cooler, so I'm not actually getting, close to Andy. But whatever. With that being said,
It's an Ozzie Smith weekend, right here on this little screen. Backflips in the highlight reel, legend in his dreams. From the Wizard to Molina, yeah, he loves them all the same. It's an Ozzie Smith weekend, John's living in the cards in the game.
I love that song. Anyway, so Andy, appreciate you, bud. So 1992 was kind of like a landmark year for Topps. It was the first year in which they did not include gum with the cards. It's also the first year that the packs were not wax packs, like in the true sense of the word. And it's also the first year in which they did not print it on like traditional cardstock. It was on like white, like paper cardstock kind of thing. But not only that, but they also introduced the Topps Gold insert parallel. And in some respects, it's like the first true parallel that has gone on to since explode in year over year as time has gone on. So I'm going to show the Ozzie Smith 1992 Topps Gold. And you can see the difference here is that the gold foiling right there. And this is a really special card. I've talked about it a lot before, but the first Ozzie Smith card I can remember in my collection is the 1992 Topps. Now, albeit it was not the gold, however, same image, same design, but this is the gold version. And looking it up, like I had thought that this was like inserted one in every pack. Not yet for Topps anyway. So depending on the pack form that you bought your cards back in 1992, it could either be one in every 36 packs, and that's for like the normal wax packs or whatever you want to call it. And then there's also different pack forms like cello and whatnot. So then the odds change from 1 in 36, like 1 in 18. There's also one that's like 1 in 12. I think hobby packs is like 1 in 6. So these were actually not as common as you might think. And then when you consider that the set was huge, so to pull your player, and I talked about that before, which I stole the idea from High Pop Professor, but I didn't do the math for this. Just know that the 1992 Topps Gold cards, which is the original Topps Gold, not 2001, but 1992, was actually a little bit scarcer than you might think. But there was a redemption thing that was inserted one in every pack, and it was like a game thing. You had to try to score like 100 runs or something, and between like you get all these cards, right, and you send it in and you would get Topps Gold cards back. I guess reading up on it, that game had gotten compromised because I guess people figured out that you could shine a flashlight underneath of it. I don't have one of these cards. It actually might be a cool card to pick up now that I think about it. So anyway, so people are racking up these runs for to to send in, and so what Topps did was the redemption cards they put. You can see on here, if I can get it to focus, right there it says winner. So it's a Topps Gold card with the gold foiling, but it says winner on it. And I should mention that on the back here, the watermark says Topps Gold. But because of that, it is estimated that there's actually more of these Topps Gold winners in circulation and produced than your Topps Gold cards. I like I said, Ozzie Smith and his Gold Glove defense. I love these cards. I don't care what they're worth. I know they're not worth a whole lot, but like I said, doing these videos again, learning so much more about the cards in my collection by doing these videos. Those Topps Gold cards are not as readily available as I had thought. Now you can still go pick them up like that, but now the following year they kept it going. This is a great image. Topps Gold. Again, the gold foiling right here. Figure I wasn't going to bore you guys with comparing and contrasting the flagship base card along with the gold card, but now this one, 1993, was inserted one in every pack. So these are far more prevalent, much easier to get. Even back at in that day when you were opening packs, and like honestly, like 1993 was the first year that I can remember opening packs of cards. So 1-in-1, still a really cool card. I love this image of Ozzie Smith, signing autographs. Ryan, when we did that collaboration, that's the Ozzie that he showed. And then the following year, 1994, they did gold again. So here the player's name is in gold. It says Topps Gold up here. And this is the last year that they did Topps Gold. At least in this iteration. This one has like weird pack odds. It was like, one in every 1.25 packs according to Baseball Cardpedia or something. So kind of weird, but whatever. But no, so what they did was they discontinued the Topps Gold cards from 1992 to 1994. So it had a very brief history. And it was not until 2001, which I do not have a Topps Gold card from that year. I don't have another one until, 2004. Anyway. But, it's just really kind of interesting to learn things such as, the 1992 Topps Gold was not 1-in-1 packs. It was also the first true parallel insert in our hobby. For better or for worse, it is a landmark point within baseball card history, and everybody points to 1993 Finest or 1989 Upper Deck, and both of those are true statements. However, I do believe now, after researching all this stuff, that 1992 Topps actually has a special place within baseball card history. So now that I got that out of the way, I'll get to working on my Yadi Gold showcase. I got a product review coming down the pike, some gifts in the mail, which is phenomenal. So I'm not going to keep rambling on. This is how I'm nerding out, and thanks for nerding out with me.